Nothing remains unachieved when the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased with someone. By transcendental achievement, one understands everything else to be insignificant. One who engages in transcendental loving service is elevated to the highest perfectional stage by the Lord Himself, who is seated in everyone's heart. Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 10.10, the Lord gives intelligence to the pure devotees so that they may be elevated to the highest perfectional stage. It is confirmed herein that a pure devotee who constantly engages in the loving service of the Lord is awarded all knowledge necessary to reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For such a devotee, there is nothing valuable to be achieved by the Lord's service. If one serves faithfully, there is no possibility of frustration because the Lord Himself takes charge of the devotee's advancement. The Lord is seated in everyone's heart, and He knows the devotee's motive and arranges everything achievable. In other words, the pseudo-devotee who is anxious to achieve material gains cannot attain the highest perfectional stage because the Lord is in knowledge of his motive. One merely has to become sincere in his purpose, and then the Lord is there to help in every way. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyanandana Salakaya Chakshumilitamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatam Hangvande Shri Guruntina Taranam Shri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Svadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Tasmin brasane sakala shisham bravo, king dulabam tabir alam lavatmabi, ananya drishtya bachatam guhashaya, swayam vidate swagatim param. Nothing remains unachieved when the Supreme Personality of God is pleased with someone. By transcendental achievement, one understands everything else to be insignificant. One who engages in transcendental loving service is elevated to the highest perfectional stage by the Lord Himself, who is seated in everyone's heart. Hare Krishna. This is a very, hope-giving verse, because we can be assured of the Lord's help in any situation. And even though Srila Prabhupada condemns here the one who worships the Lord out of material motive, at the same time, for a devotee it's also different. For a person who is only interested in material benefit, even being kind of a Vaishnava, you could say, even thinking the Lord is the Supreme, but still his heart, his desires are overshadowed by material and egoistic tendencies, then this can be applied, or this can be seen in this way, what Prabhupada says here, like a pseudo-devotee, right? A pseudo-devotee. But for a devotee who is sincerely engaged in devotional service, who is connected, we cannot expect to be now pure. So we also have material desires. But Krishna takes care of them. And He likes to take care of them because it's, it's necessary that the devotee can get purified and can come to Krishna. And Krishna says, Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. I give you what's lacking, what you don't have, and I give you what you need and preserve what you have. He says Himself. And we see this so many instances in the Shastra that Krishna protects the material side of a devotee's life. Right? Why is He doing that? Same time, of course, Prabhupada always quotes from the Bhagavatam, if the Krishna likes someone, wants to please someone, He takes everything away. Right? Prabhupada quotes this from the 10th canto. I don't know where this, someone knows where this shloka is? In which regard was it? Remember? No, it's in the Bhagavatam. Prabhupada always, I forgot the line, where it says that a devotee who is very pleased. Huh? Yeah, where is it? In which part of Bhagavatam? Okay. Yeah, he always quotes that because he experiences himself, right? He kind of speaks always out of his own experience because he tried to become rich, building a company, and then Krishna was taking it away. It was in, where was it? In which town where he had this factory? I forgot. Somewhere in North India. No, this was not in Lava. It was in the other place. I forgot. And then it was taken away, and his workers there kind of somehow or other by intrigue took the whole company away and run it down, and he was empty-handed. And his family life, of course, in the end, Prabhupada even said, I was the bad one and my wife was very good. And he was regretful, but because of his being a pure devotee. But in general, we hear that he was not so pleased from the devotional side in his family life. So he always saw, okay, Krishna takes really a way to remove the obstacles, to make, and then it said, then if everything is taken away and you lose your status, you lose your prestige, you lose your wealth, nobody will like you. Nobody will like to say, oh, who is he actually? And even they turn away. And then, this is very good, because you have only Krishna. Can only look towards the Lord, take shelter in the Lord. But so at the same time, we see in other situations, when the Lord sees it's necessary, He fulfills desires. He gives things. Because He knows my devotee, he needs it. He cannot be peaceful, he needs this. And He gives whatever it is. May it be a wife, children, money, a job. Dhruva Maharaj got a big kingdom, big job. So it's very individual, but at the same time, the point is we don't have to worry, right? So and we don't have to think ourselves, oh, I'm not a Sudhi devotee, I'm a bad devotee. Of course, we should not misuse that and think, oh, the Lord gives me everything. Or the Lord is like the supreme Amazon, right? Whatever I like, or there's this, I can order from the universe. There was once a couple of years ago this book, you order from the universe. Whatever you like, you pray to the universe, and then it will be manifested. The law of what was it? The law of the law of attraction. Whatever you send out in the universe, it will come back, and you can manipulate like this. So this shouldn't be done. Of course, we should, in one sense, try to avoid material desires. We should try to not be too much entangled. But whatever is necessary has to be done, and on the way get purified. So this from the material side, just from the material side. But then from the spiritual side, this is way better. The Lord waits to fulfill your desires, your spiritual desires. We should have spiritual desires. Of course, there's always the discussion, should we have desires or no desires, right? Should we be desireless and no, my Lord, whatever you do for me, and na dhanam, na jhanam, na sundaring, kavitang va, jagdishanakave, and what is this? Janmanishwara, birth after birth, and I don't have to go back to the spiritual world. Yeah, for the very advanced devotee, we should strive to be so detached. But in one sense, in the beginning phase, I would say it's very good to have spiritual desires. And pray to the Lord, please give me attraction to the holy name. Please help me to remove my anarthas. Please give me love to you and bhakti and all that. Give me a humble attitude towards the devotees and all that. Yeah, we should have spiritual desires. So spiritual desires, as said here, the Lord will reward us easily with the highest goal. Para param, it said here, the supreme transcendental svagatim para param. This His own supreme goal, realm. So this is for our personal spiritual life, that we should strive for the highest, which is Goloka Vrindavan. We should strive for association of devotees in Vrindavan. And we should have this as our goal. I want to be a pure devotee of the Lord. I want to be a servant of the pure devotees. So this for the material, spiritual, personal, and then for those who have a mission in life. Actually, Prabhupada gave us a mission. We should have a mission that we want to help Prabhupada spread the glories of the holy name. So for those who have also this mission spirit, that I want to, spread the holy name, I want to achieve something for Prabhupada, I want to conquer an empire for Prabhupada. We are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So everyone gets a country. Choose a country. Take the map, take the globe. I think once Prabhupada was doing that, it was with Brahmananda, he was taking the globe, turning the globe, and here you go. Maybe, I hope it was not pointing in the sea, Atlantic. Yeah, maybe there's some island there. So, take the map and I will conquer a country for Prabhupada, yes. Yeah, in Prabhupada's times it was kind of like that, right? Devotees were daring and very powerful. So nowadays, this is my personal thing now, that the world becomes very small and smaller, also through the internet. It's very easy maybe to capture a country through the internet. You can sit in the middle of nowhere, like here, and invade empires and conquer. Yeah, it's very interesting. So for those who have a mission, I think, actually I want to achieve something for Prabhupada. And this can be manifest in many ways, but mainly the goal should be that many people become devotees, isn't it? This is what should be our mission. So for those who have this mission spirit, it will manifest in different ways. Some want to chant or educate or convert or whatever, distribute many books. Yeah? For all those who have a mission, so not just your spiritual life is important, the spiritual life of others is important. And this might be devotees, new devotees or non-devotees, right? There are many fields or, target groups you can have. Jai Narasimhadev. So for those who have some mission spirit like that, this verse is powerful, this is very nice, because the Lord helps to fulfill this. And Prabhupada was the best example. Prabhupada had a mission for a spiritual master, right? We shouldn't think, oh, it's my mission, No, it should be in a humble service attitude, as much as we can manifest humility, right? Shouldn't be also, there's also another extreme, right? Oh, I have to be humble, and then we are like falsely humble, pseudo-humble. Humility should be authentic. But at the same time, our non-humility should not be okay, I cannot be humble as much humble as I should be, so it's okay to be not humble. That's very tricky, to be authentic. Sometimes it's cheesy to be an imitation humble devotee, and then if you say, no, I have to be natural and authentic, and I cannot imitate this, Hare Krishna Prabhu, and so I be naturally, and I'm puffed up and I'm arrogant, so I have to be like that also, right? It's interesting how to balance that between being true to your wherever you stay and are, and projecting yourself or acting over your good qualities. Don't try to be more than you are. So anyway, if we have a mission, and Prabhupada showed that he had this mission for his spiritual master, which was huge mission. Nobody was thinking that this is possible. They thought this verse, what is it, this in every town and village, in every town and village, their holy name will be spread. It was kind of an exaggeration of the Shastra. Like this goes the saying, or like the mythology, this is what Gaudiya Math thought. Who knows what Gaudiya Math thought, but this is what we hear. Huh? They just thought this is a myth or something. And Prabhupada was the one who understood, no, it's very practical. It's very practical, and it can be done. By the Lord's help, it can be done. So we should, to some degree, try the same. And I can remember when I was on book distribution, they're very often similar. No, of course not like in this style or in this size, but where you thought, this is nothing. How can I distribute here a book? How can I distribute all these books? How is it possible? But some or other, if you try as if it would be possible, suddenly it works. And you wonder, how was this possible? How was this possible now? At the end of the day, how was this actually possible? Maybe if you're during the whole thing, it's kind of natural, normal, and the books go out. But by the end of the day, this was the Lord. And sometimes devotees say, it's very good if you distribute not many books. It makes you humble. And it's very good if you struggle. And actually, if you distribute many books, it's very dangerous, because you can become puffed up. And you think yourself so wonderful and great. But in my experience, when I distribute many books, it made me humble. Somewhere for me it worked, because I thought, this wasn't me. This cannot be. Before that, nobody was interested in a book, like nobody. And it doesn't matter whatever I say, they say, I don't care, and go away, I'm not interested. It's like my words have no Shakti, no, what is called Vak Shakti. No Vak Shakti, no power of speech. And suddenly, by some Krishna's arrangement, suddenly everyone turns his head, everyone takes a book, everyone looks, everyone is amazed, everyone treats you like you're like a demigod. Kind of, right? So you know, this is the Lord's empowerment. Say, oh, thank you so much, and oh, you have such a glitter in the eyes, you're such a nice person. So, yes, of course. No, you know, of course, it's the Lord's empowerment. That's very interesting. So the Lord can empower us in many ways, yeah? And especially for this, as we say, preaching, if we want to do something to show gratitude to Prabhupada and not be like enjoying Krishna consciousness. We should enjoy Krishna consciousness. We should enjoy Kirtan and Bhagavatam. We should relish the Bhagavatam. We should be rasika, as it said, rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. Yeah, in Bhagavatam, you should enjoy the Bhagavatam. You should relish the reading of Bhagavatam. It should be nectar. It should be the most important thing in their life, to read the Bhagavatam. Yeah, to have a taste for it. Yes. And then we want to, of course, spread the taste, not just for us, but spread the taste. Right? And if we do like this, I think our preaching is very, very attractive. Yeah, it's not just, oh, we want to correct the whole world because it's Kali Yuga and all this. You look at all this morally, these people who are on the, morally condemned people. Look at him smoking a cigarette, wasting his life, poor Jiva. No, we are, because of the taste, developing some mercy to some degree. I was always wondering, because on book distribution, it should be merciful, right? It should be merciful. What German is Barmherzigkeit. It means kind of a warm heart for the people. And it was very difficult for me, very difficult. And there I realized I'm not merciful at all. You know, for me what was important? Book points. Book points, very important. More important even than books. Book points are more important than books. Because the list goes according to book points. So book points was very important. And Lakshmi, Brahmachari, I don't care so much about Lakshmi. So yeah, more or less book points. And of course also spiritual advancement. When you go out, you could feel the purification and duty. You have to go out, duty. And sometimes maybe like some connection with the people, mercy, but like this real mercy when you read how Prabhupada was merciful. Really, you know, oh, I wish he's a devotee and please be a devotee. This is super high level. This is just, for me, it was like incredible. And I heard, actually, who was it? I think Vijay Prabhu explained the 4 stages of book distribution according to the gunas. And then Tamaguna, when you distribute books, how was it? You're like angry and fried. And I sometimes had that. I was really in the mode of Tamaguna on book distribution. And it was very tamasic it was really destructive. And this came, of course, after the beginning enthusiasm. Once I thought, today, because it must be possible. Why not? Why only Harinamananda? Why only Harinamananda? I don't accept that. Today also me. 1,000 books. 1,000 books. And what I have to do is, practically speaking, find only 50 people and everyone takes 20 books. What's the problem? Very more or less easy, huh? Just 50 people take 20 books. And a big stack. I think it was in Stuttgart. I think it was in, where was it? I don't know where. And it's a classical example of determination in Tamaguna. In the 18th, I think it's 18th chapter, right? Yeah, in Tamaguna. And it said that this determination is not going over dreaming, right? Swapna, I think it's swapna, dreaming. Meaning you are determined just in your mind, or more or less. No? So I was like this. And it's a huge stack, and I think I approached 2 people who said no. And I thought, oh, it doesn't work. It's okay. It doesn't work. It was not very, so I could, and sometimes so this is a good example for determination in Tamaguna. And what happened after the beginning of enthusiasm, if you become fried, maybe some of you experience it sometimes, you become so fried that you kind of, don't like them so much anymore. And and you pray, oh Krishna, they are souls, but still they don't react to your prayer, to Krishna. So Krishna, and you become more fried, and you kind of don't like him at all. And actually, I was once with the Devotee in Munich, and I told him, and he was first day on book distribution. I said, be careful, okay? Be nice, be enthusiastic, this and that. But if they don't take books, never become, unfriendly or nasty to them. And he, what? I'm a nice guy, I never become nasty. And he was like, couldn't imagine to be nasty with people. He was like shocked that I even suggested, be a little bit careful, just in case. Oh, no. And after half an hour he came to me and said, I hate these people, they're so fried. And this shows us the book distribution is such a good service because it shows us our limits, right? It is, some devotees said, book distribution is like a mirror, and where you see who you are and what's your real identity. Because before that we have this cloud of self, how to say, this narcissism, and self consciousness. So Tamaguna. Book distribution when you're fried, when you're angry, when you kind of hate everyone, when you wish them, if you're revengeful, all that. So then, book distribution in Rajas, completely attached to the fruits, only done for result, prestige, book points, position on the list. If this is like the main goal, and I think every serious Sankirtan devotee knows that. How can you not? It's kind of, it's part of the game more or less. To this point and this and that and this place and maybe win the marathon. And I don't blame anyone, it's kind of because this is who we are and we should engage all our tendencies in the gunas, in Krishna's service, as much as we can do, and it will become purified. But if it always stays like that, and we can see this is not what it should be. So and then book distribution in, he said, Sattva Guna, which is done out of duty. I have to do this. I feel bound by the order of the Spiritual Master, bound to Prabhupada, and this is what we should at least do. Be very duty bound. Do it because of duty. And there will be also detachment. There will be satisfaction. Very natural. And then he said, but the highest, transcendental, is the motivation is mercy. So it's interesting that he said this is actually this is the transcendental symptom, right? And I remember that I rarely had this like as the main motivation. I go out today because of mercy. Maybe duty was there, Rajas was there, right? But to really feel for the people, they need it. A very high platform. And Prabhupada preached because of this reason. Of course, Prabhupada was obliged to his guru, the order, all that. But Prabhupada was seriously, really merciful. Yeah. So back to my point, mission is very good, and if we have a mission, we should have a mission according to our nature, I would say. I forgot where, sorry, I'm a little rusty, but there's, I think it's in the Bhagavad Gita somewhere where Prabhupada says this, the spiritual master has to know the nature and tendencies of the disciple and engage him accordingly. Maybe someone remembers, but it's said, and it's true, this is what it should be. And as we are a preaching mission, as we are a missionary movement, the spiritual master has to find out, how can my disciple be engaged in this grand mission according to his nature. So if we find that, if we have that, and then have a mission, and then apply this principle, we can achieve wonderful things. Yeah. And recently I read, I think it was in this book of Shyama Sundar, it's Chasing Rhinos. Someone chasing rhinos with the Swami? Yeah. And I read this second part. Very inspiring, very nice. There was Prabhupada and it sounded interesting. He gave a lecture or something and he said, I did more than my guru. I did more than my guru. My guru was in India. I went out of India, kind of made this comparison, but not to make him big. And he said, and you should do more than me, right? It was just kind of objective, comparing. My guru was just in India, and the whole world, and now it means every generation of disciples, they should do more than their guru. So, yeah, this is pleasing to Prabhupada. It's not that then Prabhupada is displeased. It's not that Bhaktisiddhanta is displeased. What? Abhay Charanaravinda did more than me. He did, I'm displeased. No, he made more, had more impact, so to say. Of course, the progression, they work hand in hand, but still. No. And at the same time, Prabhupada and our spiritual master, they will not be envious. But we shouldn't think, I'm more than my guru. Of course, we don't think that. So we should strive for more as a service to the guru. And not that we necessarily can accomplish that, but definitely we accomplish more than if we have not tried it. Chasing rhinos, right? Chasing rhinos. We should chase the rhino. And this is a really important point. Every one of us can do way more than we think. Way, way more. And back to, I don't know why I talk about book distribution today, no. But book distribution, I could see this so often. I could do so much if I tried. And there are many days where I was not trying, where I was kind of, okay, 20 books are enough or something. So we can do so much, and we should think according to our nature, what can I do for Prabhupada, for my spiritual master, for the devotees? And we can do incredible things, and the times are perfect. Some say, oh, the times are so bad now. People are so atheistic, and they are so, religion and God against God, and they are so agnostic, and we cannot. It's not like in the 70s and 60s where the kids were like open for spirituality and, oh, where is Krishna? Oh, we just have to, say, oh, here's Krishna, and they shave up. It was never easy. Also in Germany, my guru said it was never easy. You hear the stories about Germany being the best book distribution country in the world and 20, 30 vans and all this. But he said we were just a handful of people, always. It was never that we were like hundreds and thousands. It was just a handful of super dedicated devotees. Yeah. And he said it was always difficult. Germany, he said, was always difficult. Probably all European countries, but he said the Germans are difficult because he preaches a lot in South America, and there the hearts are more warm. It's easier, and when there's someone joins, the whole family joins, and it's a completely different atmosphere. He said it was always difficult. So, and nowadays I would say the times are perfect. They're wonderful. They're great for preaching. We just have to find how to do it, and there's so many ways, and we can do so much. Yeah. But of course, in ISKCON, individually and collectively, we are still in our self-defining phase. Who are we as a ISKCON, right? And who are the individuals? And the individuals also now thinking, who am I? What should I do? And how can I practice Krsna Consciousness? As long as we are not sure what to do, we cannot be successful. So we have to define ourselves, find out who are we? What shall we do? And then go for it. As I said, times are wonderful. And so many opportunities. There's so many opportunities. And even this corona crisis, I would say, if you find a way, it's perfect. You would say, Jai, Corona ki Jai. This is the best thing what could happen. There are people who say like that. Can you imagine? There are people who say like, Corona ki Jai. This is the best thing what could happen. There's one guy, okay, yeah. Hare Krishna. It will be recorded. The camera. There's one guy in Germany, he was kind of, regular guy, but then this Corona started, and he developed, I think he was just marketing, he was just marketing the masks. He was just marketing the masks. And he's now a millionaire. He was just on track. So, this Corona will come. Okay, the mask will be important, relevant. He made a nice online business, and he sells them like hotcakes. And he has good, understood the internet, Google search functions, everything, and sells like crazy. And he says, Corona ki jai. Best thing what could happen in my life. More Corona. We need more lockdowns, for the internet business in general. So we just have to be smart and see what are the times and how can we adapt, and then sell our product. Our product is Krsna Consciousness. Prabhupada said it's okay to study the sales techniques, he said to the Sankirtan devotees. It's okay to study sales techniques of successful sellers and apply that in Krishna service. And so online or however we want to sell Krishna consciousness. We can see it from a more business-oriented side, no problem, if it helps. Chanitai Prabhu and myself, we had once a meeting with Chakravarti Prabhu. Someone knows Chakravarti from Germany? Yes, some know. Old Prabhupada's disciple. He was the temple president of Schloss Rettershof when they had this castle and this big book distribution. And he made like a mini seminar for us, how they were selling Bhagavatam sets in the, I think 70s? Yeah, it was in the 70s. And they were selling them in English Bhagavatam sets in Hong Kong or somewhere there. I forgot where it was. And in order to do that, they had a whole scheme. This was a whole program. And they asked one very famous, and not famous, or like successful sales agent from, because at that time in the 70s there was this Lexica door-to-door distribution. This was really famous. It was a big business. And there were guys who were like professionally going from door to door and selling big encyclopedia of like Lexica, like this, what was it back then? Were they called? The famous German names, I forgot. Brockhaus, Brockhaus, dem Brockhaus. Things like this. And nowadays this business died out. And he was super professional. And he had a whole presentation style. He understood the psychology of the people. And they had a follow-up program. And they had a whole program to sell that. And they hired the guy to explain to the devotees how he did it. And he said, okay, I can educate you, I can show you, but you have to do that for me then for maybe 2-3 weeks or something. And the devotee said, okay. And he got professionally trained how to sell this Brockhaus or whatever it was at that time. And then Chakravarti built up a whole business there. I don't know where it was. I think in Australia or Shanghai, wherever it was. And actually he even hired karmis to do that with the Bhagavatam set. Very interesting. And devotees were there, but it grew so much, and this technique, how to do it, it grew so much, he hired even non-devotees, and he sold like amazing amounts of Bhagavatam sets. Amazing amounts. So whatever you think of it, some might criticize, because there's always something to criticize. This is another thing, also in ISKCON is this interesting. You have different camps of devotees, different moods, and they see one thing, some like it and some don't like it. And nowadays, before I was more like, maybe on one side more, right? And I sympathized more with one side. And I was kind of, my standard was to be for or against something according to this side. But I kind of abandoned that and become more, you can never please everyone. And everyone has to find his style more or less, if it's in, of course, Prabhupada's framework. So, more or less, my point according to this verse, Krishna fulfills our desires, even our material desires, if they are not crazy, if they are also, in Dharma, right? And if this necessary, like whole Grihastasia, tomorrow I will marry. Day after tomorrow I will marry Vedic. So what is that? Huh? What is Grihastasia? You know, it's a license for sense gratification. It's a license for egoism. It's a license for Maya. More or less, it's a license for Maya. What does the Jiva, the pure spirit soul, has to do with getting bound to another Jiva, just in a male-female opposite body, right? And do all that what is then happening when they come together? What does the Jiva has to do with that? Zero. The Jiva is a Krishna-loving entity. 100%. Man mana bhava mat bhakto. Always think of me. In Grihastha is very difficult. Zero. The Jiva is pure. Has nothing to do with anything material. But at the same time, we are so much entangled in this material thing. So Grihastha is a great mercy. It's a great... Without this, it's impossible, actually. For many devotees, I was many years thinking, yesterday I was talking with one person who said, you know, my idea was to stay brahmachari. This was not my plan. This was not what life, you know, brings unexpected things. And now I see it, it's of course, now, tomorrow get married. It's very good. It's very good, it's very necessary. It's very good, it's great mercy. It's a great mercy that our tendencies can, you know, we can connect this with Krishna and get purified and become Krishna conscious. So Krishna takes care of us completely, materially, spiritually. But if we add to all our material, to all our desires, these egoistic desires, oh, I want to have a wife, oh, I want to have money, oh, I want to have a good job, these material desires. Oh, then I want to be a devotee, I want to chant, I want to have time for Bhagavatam, I want to learn shlokas. If we add on all these spiritually egoistic and materially egoistic desires, a desire for, and I want to give Krishna to many others. I want to preach. I want to do something for Prabhupada. Something as less egoistic as possible. It's very important that this person becomes Krishna conscious. And then we make a plan. You know, we make a plan about Grihastha, so many egoistic things. We make so many plans. There suddenly everything is important, right? Everything is important. Like now this marriage. Everything is important. Every detail is important. Every, you know, candle is important. Every, you know, color is important. Every, you know, jewel is important. It's so important. Yeah, because it's so dear to us, right? So if we can make our mission dear to us, it's very important. The book points, the Lakshmi points, which city, which books to distribute, which person, understand the person, try as much as possible. Or how can I make him Krishna conscious? How can I explain Krishna consciousness to him? How can I help him that he gets a taste in spiritual life? How can he be happy? Right? Make a plan, take it serious. Krishna will fulfill that. And for the end, as I said, I was on book distribution. And for me, book distribution, this was so important. It was so important. And when I came to my spiritual master, I always said, please give me blessings that I can distribute many books. And my spiritual master, somehow or other, he said, yeah, it's okay, distribute books. But make devotees. And he always said, make devotees. And I thought, nah, Guru Maharaj, no, I want to distribute many books because make devotees, this is a different mission. This is, you know, I understand. But this was always more important for him, somehow or other. You know, in one sense, more, of course, he loves book distribution, was full into that. But he always added it, make devotees. And I never met devotees. I never met devotees. I tried, you know, collect the email address. If someone was nice, okay, you can give me your email address, we stay in contact. And then I wrote to them. Almost never got a reply. Almost never. Sometimes someone I distribute a book to might have come to the temple or something. Rarely. And recently I realized suddenly it works. My preaching field changed, and I'm online, and some people become Krishna conscious. And recently I realized, and this is the blessing of my spiritual master. Now it works. He says, make devotees, and now I can do that. So this is His mercy. So whatever we try in spiritual life, we should try as good as possible, but with intelligence. With a plan, right? With a plan and present this plan to Krishna. Of course, it's said, if you want to make Krishna love, present your plan to him. Right? That's some saying, but I think it's not 100% accurate. It's good if you have a plan, have a strategy, try and work on that, and incredible things can happen. But we have to get out of this comfort zone of me and mine and this and that. I have a mission how to do something good for the world, right, and good for the people, according to our nature. And then it's fun, and it's really fun. Thank you so much for your kind attention. Anything you want to add, or question or something? Yes?
The first time coming to the Simhachalam was like a magical moment when we were having an arati here and an ecstatic kirtan, and suddenly I could not believe this is happening, that devotee, like a simple devotee clothed in his yellow robes and with wonderful garland and mridanga and cymbals playing, and then suddenly the kirtan was so ecstatic that the devotee lifted up, and it's like a force naturally elevated him.
Oh, he levitated.
As if he touched the tip. Chandelier.
Oh, it was when you were first time here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first time it's coming to a magical moment, as I see, yes, Krishna elevates us somehow. He brings us together to chant, to be happy, and to make association. So thank you, Ananda Krishna Das, for your association, for your great lectures.
Thank you for no, it's yeah, but no, it's true. It's a good point. Yeah, we should elevate each other. Like Prabhupada quoted, mentioned it as verse 10:10, but there is also 10:9 where he says we should elevate each other, inspire each other, right? And everyone has a certain style of inspiring others, right? Some of us are very good musicians. What would we be without a good mridanga player? I know how it is with bad mridanga players also, and it's terrible. It's really terrible. Not bad, but someone who is getting out of tune. And then you appreciate so much a good mridanga player, right? Wow, it makes the kirtan like amazing, right? What would we be without a good cook? I think this is impossible. What? We can close the door. You can den Verein zumachen. Right? Good cooks, right? What would we do without, happy devotees? What would we do if the whole thing would be miserable, terrible, sad, and problems, and everyone sits, right? We need so, and sometimes one happy devotee makes a whole difference. Sometimes there's some problem, this and that, and he just with one sentence changes. It's not so bad, and we can see it from this point of view, and then everyone's, yeah, right, it's true. As the saying goes, when Harikesh Swami came to Germany, he said that Swami, that Germany was down, everyone was depressed, the mission was destroyed, everyone was, what can we do, and this and that. And his service was, he just walked around and said to her, it's not so bad, we can do it, we build up again, and he changed the whole mood, and it became huge, right? So what would we do without those who are happy, inspired, or what was it? Anyway, what would we do without devotees who are just friendly? I met recently a devotee 2 days ago, whom I didn't know before, and he had such and very simple, but such a nice vibration, atmosphere, nice, smiling, happy, very like camaraderie, friendly, and she was just talking 1-2 minutes with him, and I was just impressed. But such a nice person. Such a nice devotee. What would we do without them who can hang out with others? Because I personally am not so the out-hanger. For me, no, but sometimes I go, and everyone is stuff. For the bhaktas especially, some kind of mama type of devotee. What would we do without them? So this is very important. So everyone has talents, everyone has strengths, and we should appreciate that and work cooperatively together. And thank you for your point, that Krishna elevates us and that we elevate each other. Yeah? And so it's very important that we become more, right? And how to become more? First, we should stay. Right? This is another thing. We should stay. Because always many come, many go. So we should stay, and more should come. Who stay? Yes. But they have a very important mission.
He's getting married, so there will be more also. So
oh, we cook a lot. We can put 1-2 more tables, no problem. No, but they have a mission. This is very important. The traveling devotees are very important. They have to inspire on. Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Gaur Mohan Prabhu?
I think also the point was very nice that we shouldn't, like devotee society is non-envious. That is a very sweet point, what is actually making devotee association so unique. We're not trying to prove or to show ourselves, but rather trying to elevate the others, and having this non-envious tendency is very sweet. It's something that we don't experience anywhere else. We're not trying to compete, we're trying to inspire one another, and that's, I guess it is Kirtan didn't stop, it's just but everybody was inspired.
Yeah. But I was envious.
Yeah.
I was envious. I was putting needles and saying, wow, the Kirtan there. And I said, Krishna, one day again I will come. Yeah, we shouldn't be envious. Thank you for the point. And but it's you speak from an idealistic point of view, and of course, Gorman, you're very non-envious. But at the same time, we see devotees sometimes are envy, and we have to work on that also, no? Because envy is a big problem. And as you said, the devotees are non-envious, but at the same time, we come sometimes in situations where we are actually envious, and we should be careful to really overcome that. Right? Envy is there. Envy is there in so many small things. Oh, he plays so nice mridanga. Oh, he can so play so nice harmonium. He sings so nice. He this and that. Yeah, we have to be careful. But in general, if we have this non-envious attitude, and I think new people can feel that. When they come, they see, wow, this devotee is nice. This is special. It's very special. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Anything else? If not, thank you so much, everyone, for your association, for your attention. And now I use the opportunity that so many of you are here. Please pray and bless me and us, that we can have a successful Grihastasia, successful in the eyes of Srila Prabhupada. And it would be very nice if you can say a little prayer to Lord Narasimhadev for Tungabhadra Devi Dasi and Ananda Krishna Das. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.